Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be bowling on arguably the hardest pattern there is in competitive bowling, the 49 feet flat US Open pattern. Alright guys, so why the US Open pattern is so difficult? So in contrast to a house shot, if you look at the graphs, are going to look totally different. So on a house shot, you're usually going to see a Christmas tree-like shape, and usually that means that it's going to be more oil in the middle and less oil in the outside. So it's going to be pretty defined where the friction is going to be on that pattern. But on the US Open pattern, you won't see any shape at all. It's going to be just flat. There is not going to be like in a specific spot where if you throw the ball, it's going to automatically give you a free hook or free hold. So if you miss in, the ball is going to go into the left or right hook gutter depending on how you're throwing it, and if you miss out, there is not going to be a spot where your ball is going to help you recover. So it's going to be key to be consistent with your shot making, your speed, and your ball choice. Alright guys, so now we're going to go to the lanes and we're going to give you a few pointers on a strategy that you can use to attack the 49 feet US Open pattern. So a great starting point is using the rule of 31. So what is the rule of 31? Essentially, this rule is going to give us an estimate of where your breakpoint should be. So simply, you're going to subtract the length of the pattern minus 31, and in this case, it's going to give us 18. So as we can see, 18 is going to be pretty close to the pocket. Literally, it's going to be a straight line to the pocket, and that's just because it's a very long pattern. So another thing to think about when trying to get lined up on this pattern is topography. Usually, if you try to get some shots up the track, it's gonna have more chances to have a little bit more free hook, because the track is going to be the area of the lane where it gets more traffic during the life of a bowling center. It's where most league bowlers are going to be throwing the ball, and it's simply where you get more chances your ball to get a little bit of free hook. So in practice, it wouldn't hurt to throw some balls up the track and see what your reaction looks like. Alright guys, so now that you got a feel for the lanes, what you're going to try to do is to use the one that you feel you can be more consistent. In this type of patterns with this level of difficulty, we're not trying to go for the 260s, 280s. We are literally just trying to hit the pocket, make some spares, and be consistent. Alright guys, so the second thing that we're going to be talking about here is the equipment. So your best option is going to be using stronger bowling balls with solid cover stock. Those are the ones that are going to give you the most help that you will need on the lanes. And as lanes transition, you may switch to hybrids or some paired bowling balls. So another important point here is the use of surface. So you will want to have fresh surface on your bowling ball, because you're going to need early hook that's going to give you control so you can hit the pocket more consistently. Alright guys, so the next thing that we're going to be talking about here are the physical aspects that you will need to achieve in order to be successful on these type of patterns. So the first one is speed control. So these type of patterns are going to require you to be on top of your game when it comes to speed, because if you throw it a little bit faster, the ball might just go through the spot and never actually hook. And on the other way, if you are a little bit slower, the ball is just gonna hook way early. It's gonna give you a bad result on the pins. Alright guys, so the next thing that we're gonna talk about here is the hand position. So on the fresh, you're most likely gonna need to be the more of the back of the ball as you can, because it's gonna help you to have a smoother ball reaction. It's gonna help the ball to read early and just be smooth and predictable. But then as the lanes transition, these type of patterns are gonna require to be versatile, so you may need to switch your release, you may need to add a little bit of loft to create different hook on different part of the lane depending on how the lanes are transitioning or what lanes are asking for at that specific moment. Alright guys, so there you go, some tips on how to bowl on the 49 feet US Open pattern. Please let us know in the comments, what do you think, or if you have bowled this pattern, what's your experience, how do you attack this pattern? Let us know in the comments. And also, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.